What does jurisdiction refer to in the context of US privacy laws? A. The legal definitions shaping privacy laws. B. The enforcement mechanisms of privacy laws. C. The authority to hear and decide cases. The scope of personal information protection. Correct answer, C. The authority to hear and decide cases. Who can be considered a person under US privacy statutes? A. Only natural persons, individuals. B. Only government entities. C. Corporations, partnerships, and other organizations, in addition to individuals. D. Solely minors under the age of 18. Correct answer, C. Corporations, partnerships, and other organizations, in addition to individuals. What is preemption in the context of US privacy law? A. The authority of courts to interpret privacy laws. B. When a higher authority's laws override lower authorities' laws. C. The process of enacting privacy laws. D. The jurisdictional scope of privacy laws. Correct answer, B. When a higher authority's laws override lower authorities' laws. What allows individuals to sue for violations of a privacy law? A. Jurisdictional authority. B. Federal enforcement agencies. C. A private right of action. Preemptive legal provisions. Correct answer, C. A private right of action. How do federal and state privacy laws interact in the US? A. State laws always override federal laws. B. Federal laws set a minimum standard, but states can enact more stringent laws. C. Federal laws are solely advisory, with states holding all regulatory power. D. State and federal laws are entirely separate with no overlap. Correct answer, B. Federal laws set a minimum standard, but states can enact more stringent laws. In which scenario would federal privacy law likely supersede state privacy law? A. When state privacy laws are more stringent. B. When there is a direct conflict and federal law contains preemption. C. When individuals prefer federal standards. D. When businesses operate solely within one state. Correct answer, B. When there is a direct conflict and federal law contains preemption. What does the term private right of action empower individuals to do? A. Create new privacy laws. B. Enforce privacy laws through government agencies. C. Sue for legal violations of privacy laws. D. Request personal data from organizations. Correct answer, C. Sue for legal violations of privacy laws. What is the significance of the legal definition of person in privacy law? A. It specifies the geographical scope of privacy laws. B. It determines who is protected under the law. C. It outlines the penalties for privacy violations. It defines the technical standards for data protection. Correct answer, B. It determines who is protected under the law. What role does jurisdiction play in the applicability of privacy laws? A. It determines the minimum standards of data protection. B. It defines the technical aspects of privacy enforcement. C. It specifies which courts have the power to hear privacy disputes. C. It outlines the processes for international data transfer. Correct answer, C. It specifies which courts have the power to hear privacy disputes. How does the concept of preemption impact state privacy laws? A. It allows states to ignore federal privacy laws. B. It may result in federal laws taking precedence over state laws. C. It encourages states to adopt less stringent privacy protections. D. It limits the ability of individuals to sue for privacy violations. Correct answer, B. It may result in federal laws taking precedence over state laws. Why is understanding the definition of person important for compliance with US privacy laws? A. It indicates the specific penalties for non-compliance. B. It helps identify the entities obligated to comply with the law. C. It determines the age at which individuals have privacy rights. D. It outlines the procedures for reporting privacy breaches. Correct answer, B. It helps identify the entities obligated to comply with the law. What is the practical effect of a private right of action in the realm of privacy? A. It allows for government surveillance of data practices. B. It provides a mechanism for individuals to enforce their privacy rights. C. It establishes global standards for privacy protection. D. It defines the scope of protected personal information. Correct answer, B. It provides a mechanism for individuals to enforce their privacy rights. How do jurisdictional issues become complex in cases involving online activities? A. They simplify the enforcement of privacy laws. B. They restrict the applicability of privacy laws to physical locations. C. They challenge traditional notions of jurisdiction with data crossing boundaries. They eliminate the need for privacy laws. Correct answer, C. They challenge traditional notions of jurisdiction with data crossing boundaries. What is a key consideration for businesses operating across multiple states in the US? A. Ignoring federal privacy laws due to state preemption. B. Understanding the dynamic between federal and state laws. C. Prioritizing international over national privacy standards. D. Focusing solely on the privacy laws of the state in which they are headquartered. Correct answer, B. Understanding the dynamic between federal and state laws. In what way do legal definitions like jurisdiction and preemption affect privacy laws? A. They limit the effectiveness of privacy laws. B. They influence the scope, applicability, and enforcement of privacy laws. C. They are only relevant in the context of international law. D. They determine the technical standards for data security. Correct answer, B. They influence the scope, applicability, and enforcement of privacy laws. Why is the legal definition of private right of action pivotal in privacy law? A. It decreases the potential for litigation. B. It impacts the enforcement landscape and individuals' ability to seek redress. C. It standardizes privacy laws across states. D. It specifies the data types covered by privacy laws. Correct answer, B. It impacts the enforcement landscape and individuals' ability to seek redress. Which definition determines who has rights under US privacy law? A. Jurisdiction. B. Person. C. Preemption. D. Private right of action. Correct answer, B. Person. What does the concept of flaw preemption imply in US privacy law? A. Federal law cannot be overridden by state law. B. Federal law sets a minimum standard, allowing for more stringent state laws. C. State laws provide the only legal standards for privacy. Federal and state laws are equally authoritative. Correct answer, B. Federal law sets a minimum standard, allowing for more stringent state laws. How does the definition of jurisdiction impact online activities and privacy law enforcement? A. It restricts enforcement to the physical locations of data storage. B. It enables easier compliance for businesses by simplifying jurisdictional boundaries. It complicates enforcement by challenging traditional notions of jurisdiction. It ensures uniform privacy standards worldwide. Correct answer, C. It complicates enforcement by challenging traditional notions of jurisdiction. What is the primary purpose of understanding foundational legal definitions like person and preemption in the context of US privacy law? A. To navigate the complex landscape of privacy laws and ensure compliance. B. To advocate for the abolition of privacy laws. C. To focus solely on the enforcement mechanisms of privacy laws. D. To limit the applicability of privacy laws to individuals only. Correct answer, A. To navigate the complex landscape of privacy laws and ensure compliance. Which agency is primarily responsible for enforcing privacy protections in the telecommunications and broadband industries? A. Department of Commerce. B. Department of Health and Human Services. C. Federal Trade Commission. D. Federal Communications Commission. Correct answer, D. Federal Communications Commission. What is the main role of the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in the U.S. privacy regime? A. Regulating interstate communications. B. Developing privacy frameworks for data flows. C. Enforcing privacy promises made to consumers. D. Setting national standards for health information privacy. Correct answer, C. Enforcing privacy promises made to consumers. Which act does the Department of Health and Human Services enforce to protect health information? A. Federal Trade Commission Act. B. Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. C. Health Insurance, Portability and Accountability Act. D. Privacy Shield Framework. Correct answer, C. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act is enforced by which of the following regulators? A. Department of Commerce. B. Banking regulators. C. Federal Communications Commission, State Attorneys General. Correct answer, B. Banking regulators. Who oversees the protection of customer information in the financial sector? A. Federal Reserve Board and Comptroller of the Currency. B. Federal Trade Commission and Federal Communications Commission. C. Department of Commerce and Department of Health and Human Services. D. State Attorneys General and Department of Commerce. Correct answer: A. Federal Reserve Board and Comptroller of the Currency. Which authority is instrumental in developing frameworks for transatlantic data flows? A. Federal Communications Commission. B. Department of Health and Human Services. C. Department of Commerce. D. Federal Trade Commission. Correct answer: C. Department of Commerce. State Attorneys General are primarily involved in A. Enforcing federal privacy laws. B. Regulating the telecommunications industry. C. Enforcing state-level privacy laws and regulations. D. Developing international privacy agreements. Correct answer: C. Enforcing state-level privacy laws and regulations. The Privacy Shield framework, now under review for a new framework, was initially developed by A. Department of Health and Human Services. B. Federal Communications Commission. C. Department of Commerce. D. Federal Trade Commission. Correct answer: C. Department of Commerce. Which regulatory authority acts under the FTC Act to address privacy issues? A. Federal Reserve Board. B. Federal Trade Commission. C. Department of Commerce. Federal Communications Commission. Correct answer: B. Federal Trade Commission. CIPP-US sets national standards for the protection of A. Financial information. B. Telecommunications privacy. C. Individually identifiable health information. D. Online consumer data. Correct answer: C. Individually identifiable health information. Self-regulatory programs and trust marks in the U.S. privacy environment. A. Are led by State Attorneys General. B. Provide mechanisms for privacy protection and compliance. Regulate the use and sharing of sensitive personal information. D. Enforce the Privacy Shield framework. Correct answer: B. Provide mechanisms for privacy protection and compliance. The National Telecommunications and Information Administration, NTIA, advises on A. Health Information Policy. B. Telecommunications and Information Policy. C. Financial privacy laws. D. State-level privacy regulations. Correct answer: B. Telecommunications and Information Policy. The Office for Civil Rights enforces HIPAA's A. Privacy and security rules. B. Financial information protection standards. C. Digital advertising principles. D. Telecommunications regulations. Correct answer: A. Privacy and security rules. The Digital Advertising Alliance, DAA, sets forth principles for A. Health information privacy. P. Banking privacy standards. C. Online privacy and targeted advertising. D. Transatlantic data flows. Correct answer: C. Online privacy and targeted advertising. Which entity is known for taking enforcement actions against companies for privacy violations? A. Department of Commerce. B. Federal Communications Commission. C. Federal Trade Commission. D. Department of Health and Human Services. Correct answer: C. Federal Trade Commission. Rules requiring customer consent for the use and sharing of sensitive personal information are enforced by A. Banking regulators. B. Federal Communications Commission. C. Federal Trade Commission. D. Department of Commerce. Correct answer: B. Federal Communications Commission, who plays a critical role in enforcing state-level privacy laws. A. Federal Reserve Board. B. State Attorneys General. C. Federal Trade Commission. D. Department of Commerce. Correct answer: B. State Attorneys General. The U.S. privacy environment is characterized by A. A single comprehensive data protection law. B. Sector-specific regulations with federal and state oversight. C. Exclusive federal regulation without state involvement. D. Self-regulation without governmental oversight. Correct answer: B. Sector-specific regulations with federal and state oversight. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act requires financial institutions to A. Obtain customer consent for data sharing. B. Protect the confidentiality and integrity of consumer financial information. C. Enforce the privacy and security rules of HIPAA. Develop privacy frameworks for international data flows. Correct answer: B. Protect the confidentiality and integrity of consumer financial information. The Privacy Shield framework was primarily concerned with A. Health information privacy between the US and Europe. B. Transatlantic data flows between the US and the European Union. C. The protection of financial information within the USD. State-level privacy protections and regulations. Correct answer: B. Transatlantic data flows between the US and the European Union. which law focuses specifically on protecting children's online data? A. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, CIPP-US, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, CIPP-C, California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA-D, Virginia Consumer Data Protection Act, VCDPA. Correct answer, B. Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. What does the legislative branch of the U.S. government do in the context of privacy? Enforces privacy laws. B. Interprets privacy laws. C. Enacts laws impacting privacy. D. Regulates privacy standards. Correct answer, C. Enacts laws impacting privacy. What is the primary focus of U.S. privacy laws? A. Providing comprehensive data protection. B. Targeting specific industries or types of data. C. Establishing universal privacy standards. D. Centralizing privacy regulation. Correct answer, B. Targeting specific industries or types of data. 4. How does HIPAA primarily protect individuals? A. By safeguarding children's online data. B. By protecting health information. C. By ensuring online privacy. D. By securing financial transactions. Correct answer, B. By protecting health information. What is a critical component when analyzing a privacy law? A. The political affiliation of its sponsors. B. Its popularity among the public. C. The definitions of key terms and obligations it outlines. The number of pages in the legislation. Correct answer, C. The definitions of key terms and obligations it outlines. Which concept is crucial for understanding jurisdiction in U.S. privacy law? A. The age of the data subject. B. The location of the data subject and entity handling the data. C. The profitability of the entity handling the data. D. The technology used to collect data. Correct answer, B. The location of the data subject and entity handling the data. What does preemption refer to in the context of U.S. privacy laws? A. The priority of federal laws over conflicting state laws. B. The process of amending privacy laws. C. The enforcement mechanisms for privacy violations. D. The international application of U.S. privacy laws. Correct answer, A. The priority of federal laws over conflicting state laws. Which law grants specific rights to California residents regarding their personal information? A. HIPAA. B. COPPA, CCPAD, VCPA. Correct answer, C. California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA. What must organizations do to navigate the U.S. privacy environment effectively? A. Focus solely on federal laws. B. Comply with the most lenient privacy standards. C. Understand the scope, jurisdiction, and preemption of laws. D. Avoid collecting personal data altogether. Correct answer, C. Understand the scope, jurisdiction, and preemption of laws. How are covered entities primarily associated? A. With children's online data protection. B. With financial data security. C. With health information privacy. D. With consumer data rights. Correct answer, C. With health information privacy. What does determining jurisdiction involve in U.S. privacy law? A. Assessing the law's popularity. B. Examining the location of data subjects and data handlers. C. Analyzing the financial impact of the law. D. Considering the age of the data subjects. Correct answer, B. Examining the location of data subjects and data handlers. Which aspect is not a focus of the U.S. privacy laws according to the text? A. Creating a single comprehensive data protection law. B. Protecting personal information in various contexts. C. Approaching privacy through a sector-specific lens. D. Navigating a patchwork of regulations. Correct answer, A. Creating a single comprehensive data protection law. What is essential for organizations seeking to comply with U.S. privacy laws? A. Ignoring state-specific regulations. B. Following only the most stringent laws. C. Staying informed about evolving privacy challenges. D. Prioritizing international over domestic laws. Correct answer, C. Staying informed about evolving privacy challenges. Which law provides specific rights to Virginia residents regarding their personal information? A. HIPAA, COPPA, CCPAD, VCDPA. Correct answer, D. Virginia Consumer Data Protection Act, VCDPA. What do U.S. privacy laws often regulate? A. Any data collected, regardless of its type. B. Specific types of data, such as personal health information. C. Only data collected online. Data collected without consent. Correct answer. B. Specific types of data such as personal health information. Which of the following is a key requirement when analyzing a privacy law? A. Determining its popularity. B. Reviewing the law's text and compliance obligations. C. Predicting future amendments. D. Assessing the law's impact on international relations. Correct answer. B. Reviewing the law's text and compliance obligations. How do federal and state privacy laws interact in the U.S.? A. State laws are always preempted by federal laws. B. Federal laws may allow for more stringent state laws to coexist. C. State laws are irrelevant. D. Federal laws are considered guidelines, not mandates. Correct answer. B. Federal laws may allow for more stringent state laws to coexist. What role does preemption play in assessing privacy law applicability? A. It determines the technology used for data collection. B. It assesses the profitability of complying with the law. C. It helps understand which laws take precedence. It defines the scope of personal data. Correct answer. C. It helps understand which laws take precedence. In the context of U.S. privacy law, what is an important aspect of jurisdiction? A. The color of the law's official document. B. The extraterritorial reach of certain laws. The number of signatures required for enactment. D. The language in which the law is written. Correct answer. B. The extraterritorial reach of certain laws. What best describes the U.S. approach to privacy according to the text? A. A unified one-size-fits-all policy. B. A sector-specific patchwork system. C. An internationally focused strategy. A technology-agnostic framework. Correct answer. B. A sector-specific patchwork system.
What is a foundational step in managing data privacy? A. Establishing a privacy notice. B. Conducting a thorough data inventory. C. Developing a robust privacy program. D. Educating the workforce on privacy policies. Correct answer. B. Conducting a thorough data inventory. What does developing a robust privacy program involve? A. Only creating privacy policies. B. Data processing activities. C. Setting up policies and procedures for compliance. D. Monitoring user activities online. Correct answer. C. Setting up policies and procedures for compliance. How can organizations respect and manage user preferences regarding the data? A. By strictly limiting data collection. B. Giving users control over their data. C. Ignoring user preferences. D. Collecting data without consent. Correct answer. B. Giving users control over their data. What should organizations establish to address cyber threats like ransomware? A. Only a technical firewall. B. Incident response program. C. A single point of contact for cyber threats. D. An external cybersecurity firm. Correct answer. B. Incident response programs. Why is workforce training essential in privacy management? A. It is not essential. Technology can handle privacy. B. Only legal teams need training. C. It fosters a culture of privacy across the organization. D. Workforce training is too expensive to implement. Correct answer. C. It fosters a culture of privacy across the organization. What are accountability mechanisms in privacy management designed to ensure? A. That only the CEO is accountable for privacy. B. Privacy practices meet stated policies and legal requirements. C. Employees are punished for privacy breaches. D. Privacy is managed without documentation. Correct answer. B. Privacy practices meet stated policies and legal requirements. Under which law are organizations required to securely dispose of data no longer needed? A. California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA. B. GDPR. C. Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, FACTA. D. Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. Correct answer. C. Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, FACTA. What must online privacy practices be? A. Vague and difficult to find. B. Transparent, with clear and accessible privacy notices. C. Only available upon request. D. Written in technical language. Correct answer. B. Transparent, with clear and accessible privacy notices. What involves due diligence and monitoring of vendors' privacy practices? A. Ignoring vendor practices. B. Vendor management. C. Sole reliance on vendor assurances. D. Outsourcing all data privacy responsibilities. Correct answer. B. Vendor management. What have the Schrems decisions challenged? A. The adequacy of certain data transfer mechanisms. B. The need for international data transfers. C. The effectiveness of privacy notices. D. The use of encryption in data transfers. Correct answer. A. The The adequacy of certain data transfer mechanisms. Besides U.S. privacy laws, what must U.S.-based global multinationals navigate? A. Only local laws where they operate. B. International requirements like the GDPR. C. Ignoring international frameworks. D. Focusing solely on U.S. standards. Correct answer. B. International requirements like the GDPR. How can organizations resolve multinational compliance conflicts? A. By choosing to follow only one set of regulations. B. Ignoring conflicts and hoping for the best. C. Through a balanced approach that respects privacy. D. Focusing solely on the strictest regulations. Correct answer. C. Through a balanced approach that respects privacy. What does data flow mapping visualize? A. Only internal data movements. B. How data moves within and outside the organization. C. The physical location of servers. D. The cost of data storage. Correct answer. B. How data moves within and outside the organization. What is crucial in managing user preferences? A. Allowing all data to be public. B. Giving users control over their data. C. Not providing options to users. D. Automatically opting users into data processing. Correct answer. B. Giving users control over their data. What is the purpose of incident response programs? A. To create more work for IT departments. B. To address cyber threats effectively. C. To ignore minor security incidents. D. To increase the company's insurance premiums. Correct answer. B. To address cyber threats effectively. Why are accountability mechanisms important? A. They are only for show and have no real purpose. B. To ensure privacy practices align with policies. C. To make auditing more difficult. D. They serve no real purpose and are outdated. Correct answer. B. To ensure privacy practices align with policies. What is the role of privacy notices online? A. To confuse users. B. To inform users about data practices. C. To collect data without consent. D. They are not necessary and can be ignored. Correct answer. B. To inform users about data practices. How is vendor management critical in privacy management? A. It is not. Vendors are responsible for their own compliance. B. By ensuring vendors' privacy practices align with the organization's standards. C. By completely outsourcing privacy responsibilities. D. Vendors should not be monitored or managed. Correct answer. B. By ensuring vendors' privacy practices align with the organization's standards. What is not a mechanism for international data transfer compliance? A. GDPR. B. EU-US Data Privacy Framework. C. Binding corporate rules. BCRs. D. Global Privacy Agreement, GPA. Correct answer. D. Global Privacy Agreement, GPA. What form of liability involves the government prosecuting violations such as unauthorized access to systems? A. Civil liability. B. Self-regulatory enforcement. C. Regulatory enforcement. D. Criminal liability. Correct answer. D. Criminal liability. Which type of liability allows for individuals to seek redress for privacy breaches affecting them? A. Criminal liability. B. Civil liability. C. Self-regulatory enforcement. D. Federal enforcement. Correct answer. B. Civil liability. Breach of contract claims in privacy law enforcement arise from which scenario? A. Failure to report a data breach. B. Unauthorized access to systems. C. One party failing to honor privacy protections promised in a contract. D. Misleading consumers about privacy practices. Correct answer. C. One party failing to honor privacy protections promised in a contract. Which agency enforces privacy laws through civil actions in the U.S.? A. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS. B. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. C. Federal Trade Commission, FTC. D. State Attorneys General, AGs. Correct answer. C. Federal Trade Commission, FTC. What plays a significant role in privacy law enforcement when an entity fails to protect personal information? A. Contract breach. B. Negligence. C. Unfair and deceptive trade practices. D. Self-regulatory enforcement. Correct answer. B. Negligence. Which laws are used by the FTC to pursue companies that fail to protect consumer privacy? A. Civil liability laws. B. Unfair and deceptive trade practices, UDTP, laws. C. Data protection laws. D. International privacy regulations. Correct answer. B. Unfair and deceptive trade practices, UDTP, laws. Which entity is not directly involved in federal enforcement actions for privacy and security laws? A. FTC. B. HHSC, SECD, GPEN. Correct answer. D. GPEN. The California Privacy Protection Agency is an example of what type of enforcement body? A. Federal. B. State. C. International. D. Self-regulatory. Correct answer, B. State. Which framework aids in addressing cross-border privacy concerns? A. GDPR. B. APEC Privacy Framework. C. PCI-DSS. D. Global Privacy Enforcement Network, GPEN. Correct answer, D. Global Privacy Enforcement Network, GPEN. The PCI-DSS is an example of what kind of privacy enforcement? A. Federal. B. State. C. Self-regulatory. D. International. Correct answer, C. Self-regulatory. GDPR affects US-based companies in what manner? A. Only within the US territory. B. Processing data of individuals in the EU. C. Through self-regulatory frameworks. D. By enforcing state privacy laws. Correct answer, B. Processing data of individuals in the EU. Which compliance challenge involves balancing EU data protection requirements with US legal obligations? A. GDPR versus PCI-DSS. B. EU data protection versus e-discovery. C. APEC privacy framework versus GDPR. D. FTC regulations versus state laws. Correct answer, B. EU data protection versus e-discovery. What is a primary role of the APEC privacy framework? A. Enforcing US state privacy laws. B. Setting data protection standards across the Asia-Pacific region. C. Regulating EU data protection. D. Overseeing self-regulatory enforcement mechanisms. Correct answer, B. Setting data protection standards across the Asia-Pacific region. Which of the following is not a general theory of legal liability in US privacy law enforcement? A. Contract. B. Tort. C. International cooperation. D. Civil enforcement. Correct answer, C. International cooperation. How do state attorneys general typically engage in privacy law enforcement? A. By creating self-regulatory standards. B. Through civil liability actions. C. By initiating investigations and bringing lawsuits. D. Enforcing international privacy regulations. Correct answer, C. By initiating investigations and bringing lawsuits. Which statement best describes the enforcement landscape of US privacy and security laws? A. It is solely focused on criminal liability. B. It is a simple and straightforward system. C. It involves a complex and multifaceted approach. D. It relies entirely on international cooperation. Correct answer, C. It involves a complex and multifaceted approach. In the context of privacy law enforcement, negligence is most closely related to A. Failing to comply with international standards. B. Entities not taking reasonable measures to protect personal information. C. Misleading consumers about privacy practices. D. Violations involving illegal activities. Correct answer, B. Entities not taking reasonable measures to protect personal information. Which enforcement mechanism is crucial for holding companies accountable for their privacy promises and practices? A. Civil liability. B. Criminal liability. C. Unfair and deceptive trade practices, UDTP. D. Self-regulatory frameworks. Correct answer, C. Unfair and deceptive trade practices, UDTP. The GDPR sets a high standard for data protection and primarily affects A. Companies operating within the US only. B. US-based companies processing the data of EU citizens. C. State-level privacy enforcement actions. D. The development of self-regulatory standards. Correct answer, B. US-based companies processing the data of EU citizens. An effective privacy management strategy in the US should include A. Ignoring international data protection regulations. B. Focusing solely on criminal liability. C. Adopting comprehensive privacy programs and fostering a culture of accountability. D. Relying exclusively on civil liability actions for enforcement. Correct answer, C. Adopting comprehensive privacy programs and fostering a culture of accountability. What is the primary role of the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in privacy protection? A. Promoting financial literacy. B. Enforcing antitrust laws. C. Protecting consumer privacy and data security. D. Regulating the national economy. Correct answer, C. Protecting consumer privacy and data security. Which act requires websites and online services aimed at children under 13 to obtain parental consent before collecting personal information? A. COPPAB, GLBAC, FCRAD, FERPA. Correct answer, A. COPPA. What does Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act, FTCA, prohibit? A. Unfair competition in the marketplace. B. Insider trading practices. C. Unfair or deceptive acts or practices affecting commerce. D. Unauthorized disclosure of classified information. Correct answer: C. Unfair or deceptive acts or practices affecting commerce. Which rule mandates financial institutions to implement programs to detect, prevent, and mitigate identity theft? A. Red Flags Rule. B. Safeguards Rule. C. Privacy Rule. FACTA. Correct answer: A. Red Flags Rule. What does the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, aim to ensure? A. The accuracy and privacy of credit reporting information. B. The enforcement of antitrust laws. C. The security of online transactions. D. The transparency of financial institutions' operations. Correct answer: A. The accuracy and privacy of credit reporting information. Under FERPA, who has the right to request the amendment of a student's education records? A. Only the school administrators. B. Any student in the institution. C. Parents and eligible students. D. The Department of Education. Correct answer: C. Parents and eligible students. Which act was designed to modernize financial services by removing barriers between banking, securities, and insurance companies? A. Dodd-Frank ACTB, FCRAC, GLBAD, FACTA. Correct answer: C. GLBA. How does the FTC approach enforcement actions related to privacy violations? A. By focusing exclusively on financial institutions. B. Through sector-specific regulations. C. By addressing violations across the economy. D. Only through court orders. Correct answer: C. By addressing violations across the economy. What is required under the GLBA privacy rule? A. Annual credit reports to consumers. B. Privacy notices to customers about information sharing practices. C. Parental consent for collecting children's data online. D. Reporting of all data breaches to federal authorities. Correct answer: B. Privacy notices to customers about information sharing practices. Which entity is primarily responsible for enforcing the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, FACTA? A. Federal Reserve. B. Federal Trade Commission, FTC. C. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. D. Department of Education. Correct answer: B. Federal Trade Commission, FTC. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, applies to which group? A. All consumers. B. Children under 13. C. Students in higher education. D. Elderly consumers. Correct answer: B. Children under 13. What is the primary focus of the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GLBA, Safeguards Rule? A. Preventing deceptive advertising. B. Protecting consumers' personal financial information. C. Ensuring fair credit reporting. D. Overseeing educational institutions. Correct answer: B. Protecting consumers' personal financial information. What authority does the FTC use to investigate and take action against companies that fail to protect consumer privacy? A. The Dodd-Frank ACTB, the Federal Trade Commission ACTC, the Consumer Protection Safety Act. D. The Electronic Communications Privacy Act. Correct answer: B. The Federal Trade Commission Act. Under which circumstances can schools disclose student education records without consent, according to FERPA? A. At any time, without restrictions. B. Only with parental or eligible student consent. C. When transferring records to another school. D. For marketing purposes. Correct answer: C. When transferring records to another school. What was a key reason for the enactment of the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, FACTA? A. To deregulate the financial industry. B. To enhance consumer protections against identity. The FTC. To promote the use of big data. D. To reduce federal oversight over credit reporting. Correct answer: B. To enhance consumer protections against identity theft. What kind of enforcement actions has the FTC brought against companies for privacy violations? A. Only against small businesses. B. Primarily against non-profit organizations. C. Against companies for misleading statements about privacy practices. D. Solely within the technology sector. Correct answer: C. Against companies for misleading statements about privacy practices. The Dodd-Frank Act established which bureau focused on consumer financial protection? A. Federal Reserve. B. Securities and Exchange Commission. C. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. D. Federal Communications Commission. Correct answer: C. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. What does the Electronic Fund Transfer Act, EFTA, regulate? A. Cryptocurrency transactions. B. traditional banking practices. C. Electronic fund transfers, including online banking. D. Credit card interest rates. Correct answer, C. Electronic fund transfers, including online banking. Which act requires operators of websites and online services directed to children under 13 to obtain parental consent before collecting, using, or disclosing personal information from children? A. COPPAB, FERPAC, GLBAD, FCRA. Correct answer, A. COPPA. What future challenges does the FTC face in privacy protection? A. Only challenges related to traditional commerce. B. Addressing issues related to data brokers, big data, and AI. C. Focusing solely on children's privacy. D. Limiting its actions to financial institutions. Correct answer, B. Addressing issues related to data brokers, big data, and AI. What is the primary purpose of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, HIPAA? A. To incentivize the adoption of electronic health records. B. To establish national standards for the protection of personal health information. C. To promote interoperability and prohibit information blocking. D. To provide stringent protections for substance use disorder patient records. Correct answer, B. To establish national standards for the protection of personal health information. Which entities are directly regulated by the HIPAA privacy rule? A. All businesses in the United States. B. Only healthcare providers that do not conduct transactions electronically. C. Health plans, healthcare clearinghouses, and healthcare providers that conduct certain transactions electronically. D. Only business associates of covered entities. Correct answer, C. Health plans, healthcare clearinghouses, and healthcare providers that conduct certain transactions electronically. What does the HIPAA security rule specifically aim to protect? A. The integrity of all types of protected health information, FI. B. The confidentiality, integrity, and availability of electronic protected health information, EPHI. C. The privacy of verbal communications between patients and healthcare providers. D. The security of physical medical records only. Correct answer, B. The confidentiality, integrity, and availability of electronic protected health information, EPHI. How does the Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health, HITECH, Act expand upon HIPAA regulations? A. By decreasing the penalties for HIPAA violations. B. By limiting the scope of privacy and security protections to only cover healthcare providers. C. By introducing stricter penalties for HIPAA violations and expanding protections to business associates. D. By eliminating the need for patient authorization for use and disclosure of FI. Correct answer, C. By introducing stricter penalties for HIPAA violations and expanding protections to business associates. What major goal does the 21st Century Cures Act aim to achieve regarding health information? A. To reduce the privacy and security protections for patient information. B. To promote interoperability and prohibit information blocking, facilitating the exchange of health information. C. To establish the first set of national standards for health information privacy. D. To incentivize the manual record keeping in healthcare. Correct answer, B. To promote interoperability and prohibit information blocking, facilitating the exchange of health information. Which rule offers stringent protections for the confidentiality of substance use disorder, SUD, patient records? A. HIPAA Privacy Rule. B. Confidentiality of Substance Use Disorder Patient Records Rule, 42 CFR Part 2. C. 21st Century Cures Act. D. HIPAA Security Rule. Correct answer, B. Confidentiality of Substance Use Disorder Patient Records Rule, 42 CFR Part 2. What rights does the HIPAA Privacy Rule grant to patients over their health information? A. The right to refuse any medical treatment. B. The right to opt out of electronic health records. C. The right to examine and obtain a copy of their health records and to request corrections. D. The right to disclose their FI without consent. Correct answer, C. The right to examine and obtain a copy of their health records and to request corrections. How does the use of online tracking technologies by HIPAA-covered entities and business associates need to comply with HIPAA? A. By ensuring collection, use, or disclosure through online tracking does not require HIPAA compliance. B. By guaranteeing that any use of PHI, including through online tracking, is adequately protected and authorized under HIPAA. C. By allowing unrestricted use of online tracking technologies for marketing purposes without patient authorization. D. By mandating that online tracking technologies can only be used outside the United States. Correct answer, B. by guaranteeing that any use of PHI, including through online tracking, is adequately protected and authorized under CIPP-US. What is a key goal of the High-Tech Act concerning electronic health records, EHRs? A. To discourage the use of EHRs by imposing penalties. B. To ensure that EHRs are only used for research purposes. C. To enhance the use of EHRs while ensuring the privacy and security of patient information. D. To completely replace physical records with EHRs without considering privacy and security. Correct answer: C. To enhance the use of EHRs while ensuring the privacy and security of patient information. What is the impact of technological advancements on healthcare privacy regulations? A. They have made healthcare privacy regulations obsolete. B. They require ongoing adaptation of regulations to balance privacy protection with information flow. C. They have reduced the importance of patient consent in using and disclosing PHID. They have eliminated the need for any privacy regulations in healthcare. Correct answer: B. They require ongoing adaptation of regulations to balance privacy protection with information flow. What role does regulation play in consumer privacy protection? A. Decreasing business opportunities. B. Facilitating data breaches. C. Safeguarding consumer privacy. D. Increasing marketing costs. Correct answer: C. Safeguarding consumer privacy. Which act aims to protect consumers from unsolicited commercial emails? A. TCPA. B. TSRC. CAN Spam Act. D. JFPA. Correct answer: C. CAN Spam Act. What is the primary purpose of the telemarketing sales rule, TSR? A. Enhance telemarketing strategies. B. Regulate digital advertising. C. Emphasize consumer rights and telemarketer obligations. D. Promote unsolicited calls. Correct answer: C. Emphasize consumer rights and telemarketer obligations. Which act requires senders of unsolicited fax advertising to provide a clear opt-out mechanism? A. CAN Spam Act. B. TCPAC, JFPAD, TSR. Correct answer: C. JFPA. What does the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, TCPA, regulate? A. Email spam. B. Digital advertising. C. Telemarketing practices. D. Video rental records privacy. Correct answer: C. Telemarketing practices. Which act is concerned with the privacy of cable service consumers? A. Cable Communications Policy. ACTB, VPPAC, DPPAD, TCPA. Correct answer: A. Cable Communications Policy Act. The Video Privacy Protection Act, VPPA, protects the privacy of A. Telemarketing data. B. Video rental records. C. Email communications. D. Fax advertising content. Correct answer: B. Video rental records. The Drivers Privacy Protection Act, DPPA, focuses on A. Preventing unsolicited emails. B. Protecting privacy against unauthorized disclosure of personal information. C. Regulating telemarketing calls. D. Ensuring transparency in digital advertising. Correct answer: B. Protecting privacy against unauthorized disclosure of personal information. What does the Telecommunications Act of 1996 focus on with regard to consumer privacy? A. Customer Proprietary Network Information, CPNI. B. Telemarketing strategies. C. Unsolicited commercial emails. D. Fax advertising regulations. Correct answer: A. Customer Proprietary Network Information, CPNI. The emergence of data ethics in the context of privacy emphasizes a. The need for a principled approach to data use. B. The reduction of marketing opportunities. C. The deregulation of data collection practices. D. The promotion of unsolicited telemarketing calls. Correct answer: A. The need for a principled approach to data use. What is the primary focus of the Right to Financial Privacy Act of 1978? A. Encouraging financial transparency. B. Combating money laundering. C. Protecting individuals' privacy from federal access. D. Enhancing the government's surveillance capabilities. Correct answer: C. Protecting individuals' privacy from federal access. What does the Bank Secrecy Act of 1970 primarily aim to combat? A. Financial privacy breaches. B. Identity. The FTC, money laundering and financial crimes. D. Electronic fraud. Correct answer: C. Money laundering and financial crimes. What is required for law enforcement to conduct wiretaps in the United States? A. General suspicion of illegal activity. B. Consent from the communication service provider. C. A court order based on probable cause, notification to the individual being surveilled. Correct answer: C. A court order based on probable cause. Which act requires law enforcement to obtain a warrant to access recent emails? A. Wiretap ACTB, Bank Secrecy ACTC, Electronic Communications Privacy Act, ECPA, D. Communications Assistance for Law Enforcement Act, CALIA. Correct answer, C. Electronic Communications Privacy Act, ECPA. What is the purpose of the Communications Assistance for Law Enforcement Act, CALEA? A. To restrict government surveillance capabilities. B. To ensure telecommunication carriers can enable lawful electronic surveillance. C. To protect financial transactions from government access. D. To limit the collection of electronic communications data. Correct answer, B. To ensure telecommunication carriers can enable lawful electronic surveillance. Which act was enacted in response to government abuses of surveillance powers for national security purposes? A. USA Freedom Act of 2015. B. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978, FISA. C. Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act of 2015. D. Privacy Protection Act of 1980. Correct answer, B. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978, FISA. What did the Patriot Act amend to facilitate easier access to electronic communications? A. Right to Financial Privacy ACTB, Electronic Communications Privacy ACTC, Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA. D. Privacy Protection Act. Correct answer, C. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA. What tool does FISA authorize the use of, requiring specified customer information from companies without disclosing the request? A. Wiretaps. B. Administrative subpoenas. C. National security letters, NSLs. D. Court orders. Correct answer, C. National security letters, NSLs. Section 702 of the FISA Amendments Act authorizes the collection of foreign intelligence information from A. All individuals within the United States. B. U.S. citizens abroad. C. Non-U.S. persons located outside the United States without a warrant. D. Any individual, regardless of location, without a warrant. Correct answer, C. Non-U.S. persons located outside the United States without a warrant. The USA Freedom Act of 2015 was passed in response to A. The need for stronger cybersecurity measures. B. Revelations of widespread surveillance practices. C. An increase in financial crimes. D. The inefficiency of previous privacy laws. Correct answer, B. Revelations of widespread surveillance practices. What does CISA encourage to enhance cybersecurity? A. The use of encryption. B. Sharing of cybersecurity threat information between private sector and government. C. Reduction of electronic communications. D. Increased privacy protections for electronic data. Correct answer, B. Sharing of cybersecurity threat information between private sector and government. The Privacy Protection Act of 1980 is crucial for protecting A. Financial transactions. B. Journalists and their sources. C. Electronic communications. D. Government records. Correct answer, B. Journalists and their sources. Electronic discovery, e-discovery, in civil litigation involves A. The physical exchange of documents. B. The exchange of information in electronic format. C. Surveillance of electronic communications. D. Restricting access to digital data. Correct answer, B. The exchange of information in electronic format. Which act significantly expanded the government's surveillance and investigative powers after the September 11 attacks? A. USA Freedom ACTB, Cybersecurity Information Sharing ACTC, USA Patriot Act. D. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Correct answer, C. USA Patriot Act. The act that aims to reform government surveillance programs and enhance transparency is A. The Patriot ACTB, the FISA Amendments ACTC, the USA Freedom Act of 2015. D. The Electronic Communications Privacy Act. Correct answer, C. The USA Freedom Act of 2015.